Hello darlings, it's me again. Coming straight back to you with another tantalizing video. In today's video, I want to introduce to you some of my dearest billionaire friends. All 7 of these famous friends feature on the Forbes list of billionaires, and according to Forbes, they have a combined worth of $18.2 billion. Are they as rich as Jeff Bezos? No. Are they filthy rich? Absolutely. Who are these glamorous billionaires, you might wonder? Yes, of course, they are America's 7 black billionaires. In this video, I'm going to give you the juicy scoop from my newly rich to long-standing billionaire. Coming in at number 7 is a candidate that we had a recent shift from millionaire status to billionaire status. It's popular entertainer Tyler Perry. Perry's net worth tipped him just over $1 billion back in September 2020. At the age of 51, this billionaire ranks 2,674th richest individual in the world. Perry was born and raised in New Orleans by his single mother. He started working in theaters, and from the date of his almost empty theater debut, Perry has managed enormous success. In 2005, he released his first movie franchise called Madea, which featured Perry dressed as an elderly black woman, playing the central role. After his initial success, Perry went on to make 11 Madea films. The highest-grossing film took $90,000. Since starring in his own movies, Perry has recently taken a more behind-the-scenes role. He placed a stake in BET+, which is an on-demand subscription service featuring Perry's movies and other BET programs. This investment was a wise payoff, and Perry has it to thank for a large sum of his delightful billionaire status. So, how exactly does Perry spend his pocket money? Well, he is known to have multi-million-dollar assets across America, including estates in Atlanta, Wyoming, and ever-glamorous LA. A charitable man too. It is said Perry gave some $50,000 in grocery shop gift cards to those in need. What an outstanding gentleman! And speaking of outstanding gentlemen, let me introduce you to number 6 in America's 7 black billionaires, Sean Carter, or as most people know him, Jay-Z. Jay-Z has a net worth of $1.4 billion, and at the age of 51, Z ranks as 2,146th richest person in the world. Whilst Jay-Z is most popularly known for his music and famous wife, Beyoncé, he isn't just a clever artist and producer. He also has other building blocks in his domain that have led to his wealth, including art, real estate, liquor, and wise stakes in growing companies. Born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, Z has certainly made his way in the world, and in 2019 he was crowned hip-hop's first billionaire. It is said that his stadium tour with Beyoncé, titled Run 2, took almost $5 million a night, making a hefty $250 million in total. However, even without doing a tour or raising any new music, Z makes millions a year from his champagne brand, Armand de Brignac, or Ace of Spades. Each bottle costs a whopping $850. He also has stakes in huge companies, including preeminent entertainment company Roc Nation and well-known taxi and food delivery company Uber. What does this juicy billionaire spend his money on? It is said that Jay-Z has one of the finest art collections across the globe by Jean-Michel Basquiat. Well, that collection would trump my own old sport. Speaking of old sports, let me introduce you to number 5 of America's black billionaires, Michael Jordan. Jordan is said to have a net worth of $1.6 billion, and at the age of 58, he ranks 1,931st richest person in the world. We all know Michael Jordan to be one of the most treasured NBA players in history. It is said that in his prime, Jordan was paid $90 million for his annual salary and a further $1.8 billion from corporate partners. He has continued his partnerships and still has some sponsorship deals with famous brands such as Gatorade and Upper Deck 15, despite having retired from the game over 15 years ago. As a Chicago Bull, Jordan won 6 championships from 1991 to 1998. He has continued his love of basketball by owning a team, the Charlotte Hornets. Jordan maintains his billionaire status by investing money where he sees fit. He is the recent co-owner of a NASCAR team and an advisor to the board of the sports betting business DraftKings. How does Michael Jordan spend his billions? Over the years, Jordan has traveled the globe and has always done it in complete style. He owns a Gulfstream G550 jet, bearing his own Jumpman logo and his jersey number. Stylish. Stylish? Not quite as impressive in my personal professional opinion as my 230-foot yacht that has 8 cabins and a full-size basketball court on board. It is clear that Jordan, for as long as he lives, will never have to dig deep in his pockets for gold. Speaking of gold diggers, may I introduce number 4 of America's Black Billionaires, Kanye West. With a net worth of $1.8 billion at age 43, West is 1,750th richest individual in the world. There was initially quite a lot of dispute over the artist's net worth. It appears that King Kanye has deliberately exaggerated his net worth and has argued that Forbes tried to purposely snub him. Although anyone who knows much about this musical icon is aware of his often outlandish claims. As well as being a hip-hop sensation with such hits as Gold Digger and just about every track from his College Dropout album, Kanye is certainly an entrepreneur. He has created Yeezy sneakers, which is a well-known trainer brand that continues to sell unbelievably well. A recent unveiling of a new trainer, the 450 in clad white, sold out completely in less than 1 minute. So far, the trainers continue to be a big hit, and this has encouraged West to make investments elsewhere, including Yeezy Supply, an e-commerce platform sharing the affiliate name, which he hopes will be the direct line for all types of new fashion wares within his successful brand. Back in June, it was announced that he had signed a potentially billion-dollar deal with Gap, titled Yeezy x Gap, although we are still waiting for more details on this likely lucrative line. So, where does West spend all his dollar bills? A marriage to ever-growing success Kim Kardashian West could hardly be cheap, and it is rumored that as well as his huge investment in real estate, West has spent a lot, and I mean a lot of money, on his soon-to-be ex-wife. Speaking of successful women, may I have the pleasure of introducing number 3 on our list of America's 7 Black Billionaires, Oprah Winfrey. With a net worth of $2.7 billion at age 67, Winfrey ranks as 1,174th richest person in the world. She is hailed a self-made female billionaire and someone to be much admired. She began her career back in Nashville, where she was a presenter on her local news station. Upon moving to Chicago, she had her own program, The Oprah Winfrey Show, and thus a star was born. The show took $300 million a year in its most prominent time. As well as being the successful and revered talk show host, Winfrey has created quite the empire for herself, owning shares in popular weight loss company Weight Watchers and having a partnership with well-renowned technology company Apple. How does this celebrated host spend her billions? Winfrey has a number of estates across America, including Hawaii, Washington, Colorado, and California, where she is known to have a home not far from Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Oprah is also known for her philanthropy and has donated $100 million to the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for girls in South Africa. The school was set up by Winfrey 10 years ago as a gift to all the girls and young women who were struggling to find education. What marvelous achievements! I'm rather jealous of that technological partnership with Apple. Speaking of technological success, our number 2 in America's 7 Black Billionaires is David Stewart. With a net worth of $3.7 billion at age 69, he ranks 807th richest person in the world. Stewart is the co-founder of Worldwide Technology, which is an IT provider serving some extremely important clientele, including the federal government. This company makes $11.2 billion in sales. However, his life hasn't always been that lucrative. Having grown up in South America and experiencing segregation of the harshest degree, Stewart and his 7 siblings never had it easy. Stewart will live paycheck to paycheck in his early adult life and sometimes went without pay at all. However, only a couple of years ago, he was able to donate $1.3 million to the University of Missouri in St. Louis, which created the David and Thelma Stewart Institute for Jazz Studies, in honor of his own love for the musical style. What a generous donation, and all in aid of education. Speaking of education-based donations, our final and therefore #1 black billionaire in America is Robert F. Smith. With a net worth of $6 billion and at the age of 58, Smith is the 451st richest individual in the world and the richest black man in America. Smith once worked as an engineer in training at places such as Kraft Foods and Goodyear Tire. He later achieved an MBA at Columbia University and secured an internship with Bell Labs. That wasn't an easy feat, however. Smith called Bell Labs every week for 5 months until they agreed. Now that is commitment. He later went on to found private equity firm Visa Equity Partners back in 2000. The company business was to invest in software companies. Now it has over $50 billion in assets. They have continued to take annualized returns of 21% every year since they began. Not only is Smith successful and rich, he's also incredibly kind. In 2019, he agreed to pay the student debt of the entire class of Morehouse College and became one of Cornell's biggest ever investors, with a donation of $50 million. How's that for charity? Wow, what a spread of successful stars! Would you like to become the next black billionaire? Let me know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed watching this video, kindly hit the like and subscribe button. Do not forget to click on the notification bell too, so you can stay updated with the new luxurious content as soon as we upload it. Thank you. Now, who's next on my list?